The spiritual narcissist is truly the wolf in sheep's clothing. Spiritual narcissists are more cerebral, which means they use their intellect, their mind, their intelligence, and their academic achievements to impress an audience. They may come across as being sensitive and introverted, but they carry an air of superiority, fake modesty, and a holier-than-thou attitude. They are extremely close-minded and hypocritical, and will often use hyper-religiosity, rigid beliefs, and dogma as methods of control. Their version of spirituality will be performance-based. Spiritual narcissists may start their own cult, revolving more around strict practices and adherence to repetitive rituals, rather than inspiring others to develop their own connection to the divine. Whether pertaining to yoga, meditation, church denomination, or any other spiritual group setting, all that matters is that they can be seen as a spiritual leader or some sort of guru. Pathological narcissists may not have to be in an official position of power within an organization, but will often use religion to spiritualize or justify their abuse and control of their own children or family. Common methods that a spiritual narcissist will use to manipulate and indoctrinate and brainwash include passing harsh judgments on people who don't share their beliefs, switching off or showing disgust toward people who aren't compliant to their version of the one true way. Spiritual narcissists may act enraged if you question their supreme knowledge of spirituality, and they'll use their interpretations of a spiritual text to make you feel inferior, stupid, or less than spiritual. Methods of control used by the spiritual narcissist is shaming, shunning, controlling, brainwashing, coercion, guilt-tripping, and abuse, instead of motivating, inspiring, mentoring, or demonstrating via their actions. Spiritual narcissists will not tolerate any criticism or questioning, and they will attack you and call you a sinner or accuse you of not having faith if you dare confront their ways. Spiritual narcissists come across as being very authoritarian, and they demand unconditional obedience to their leadership. They are very image conscious, so protecting their reputation of their position in the church is more important than anything else. They proudly display their spiritual endeavours like a sparkly gold badge for everyone to see, and they may claim to have special gifts of insight or other magical abilities that apparently only they have been privileged to receive. And they will misuse a position of power, leadership, or influence to further their selfish interests. The overt and more confident and extroverted spiritual narcissist is highly perfectionistic and will not show any compassion or tolerate anything that they deem as a weakness or failure. Whereas the covert and the introverted or shy spiritual narcissist is particularly more dangerous because they know that grandiosity isn't necessarily associated with spirituality. So they will masquerade their controlling and abusive ways in a more stealth manner. And let's also keep in mind that we can all get on a spiritual ego trip sometimes. However, the pathological narcissist uses spirituality, religious beliefs, and an arrogant attitude of righteousness as a method to control those who are vulnerable and who depend on an external source of validation of their own spiritual connection. Spiritual narcissists are particularly dangerous because they tamper with, distort, and invert our own intimate connection to the divine. Humanity is currently waking up to the inevitable evidence that many of these religious organizations who were and are magnets for pathological covert spiritual narcissists, because the beliefs perpetuate and support their pathological need to control, and it gives them an official permission slip from God himself. My question is If each of us was absolutely certain of our own personal connection to Divine Source, and we truly believed in our own inherent goodness and worthiness, where would that leave those who have a vested interest in keeping humanity in low self-worth? Those posing as intermediaries.